This is a narration of a PowerPoint presentation of Introduction of Sport and Exercise Psychology by Ilona Sabanska and Danielle Lindsay. This presentation will display a number of various psychological approaches, concepts, and theories that can be identified in our chosen case study. We will also look into possible interventions that Susan could undertake to improve not only her health but overall quality of life. The case study analysed Susan is a 40-year-old mother of two who would like to lose weight due to the health matters. She usually works in a part-time job and have not exercised in about 10 years. She would like to start getting fit again, but her self-esteem is low and she seems to find different excuses as to why she cannot attend the gym. Susan does not like to exercise alone as she lacks the confidence to perform the exercise and do not attend classes because she is not enjoying some instructor's sessions. Even though Susan feels guilty about not staying physically active, there seems to always be something stopping her. Approaches that were identified as the most applicable in Susan's case are cognitive behavioral. Cognitive behavioral approaches began in the early 60s and are based on therapeutic interventions models of Ellis, Beck, and Bandura. All of those models differ, but they all combine cognitive behavioral elements. Cognitive behavioral approach supports the belief that a way of thinking, cognition, can affect behavior. Susan has negative thoughts about past experiences in the gym, which cause her distress and results in her not wanting to attend it. When looking into the cognitive approach, it is believed that the ways of thinking can be altered, hence the changing the way of thinking can promote faster and easier behavioral change. Susan feels very self-conscious and perceives herself as not being able to perform the exercises before she even attends the gym. She also displays the symptoms of anxiety, which could also be linked with the past experiences. Susan's fear of attending the gym is greater than the willingness to lose weight, so it is important that Susan learns ways of changing her thinking which could positively influence her behavior. The cognitive concept deals primarily with the structure of the brain, its capabilities and characteristics. This approach explores such processes as thinking and observation. This concept is based on the information acquired during the life through experiences, learning, and the contact with society. Watson, Skinner, and Pavlov focused their attention on behavior. They supported the thought that behavior is a result of an action and its consequences. They believed that humans learn specific behaviors through classical conditioning and modeling. Classical conditioning is a learning process in which stimulus triggers response that was originally triggered by different stimulus. Modeling, on the other hand, is a process in which people deal with observing and imitating the behavior of others. Social cognitive theory by Bandura states that behavior is a result of an interaction between a person and the environment. There are three main components of cognitive theory: cognitive aspects of learning, shaping behaviors, and self-efficacy. The theory is supporting the phenomena of learning by observing modeling. It emphasizes cognitive processes, especially the expectation of reward or punishment resulting from observing the consequences of certain behavior. Bandura distinguished the conditioning of the emotional reaction by observing the emotions of others. The next construct of social cognitive theory is self-efficacy, which refers to confidence in the ability to successfully perform a task. Setting goals and self-talk could help Susan increase her performance and social cognitive thinking. The case study states that Susan lacks the confidence in her ability to perform the exercise. This clearly indicates her low confidence and low self-esteem, as well as shows she sees herself as not being able to effectively perform the task, which can be directly related to self-efficacy theory by Bandura. An important role in this theoretical concept is played by one's expectations, especially expectations about their own effectiveness and the outcome of the task. As Expectations about the outcome of the task relate to how a person perceives a particular task. The second aspect of self-efficacy that is related to the belief that one is able to accomplish a given task. High self-efficacy reduces anxiety and inhibits the effect. The stronger the acceptation of self-efficacy, the greater perseverance in pursuit of the goal, even if the face of obstacles. Also, the effort put into action is greater when you are convinced that you will achieve the goal. Bandura puts self-efficacy into four categories, and those are past performances, verbal persuasion, vicarious experiences, and psychological states. Susan negative past experiences and low performance rate influences her self-efficacy. This has a psychological effect on her exercising routine. Verbal persuasion could have a positive effect on Susan's self-efficacy. Continuous reminder of her ability to go to the gym and perform exercise would help her get into the routine and develop her motivational skills. Different theories exist in the literature regarding anxiety. According to Hackford and Spielberger, anxiety is an emotional reaction which evokes when a person perceives a situation of circumstance as dangerous or threatening. This is caused due to the stress, which process consists of three major components: stressor, circumstance or situation, perception of danger, threat, and emotional reaction. Susan perceives attending to the gym as a situation of a potential danger, hence she struggles to attend it. How an individual reacts to a particular stressor depends on how threatening they find the situation and the coping skills. Buckworth and Dishman also define anxiety as a reaction to perceived threat accompanied by an unpleasant emotion of consists of a wary intention. Lavallee described anxiety as a multidimensional construct that consists of three elements: cognitive, somatic, and behavioral. He also believed that anxiety can be distinguished from arousal. Susan perceives attending the gym as a situation of a potential danger, hence she struggles to attend it. She has got a lot of negative expectations and cognitive concern about herself, lack confidence in ability to perform the exercise, the situation and the potential consequences, which could indicate that she suffers from cognitive anxiety. That could have a negative effect on Susan's performance. There are many theories of the anxiety performance relationship in sport, some of which are drive theory. The more aroused the participants become, the better they will perform. Positive relationship between arousal and performance. Inverted hypothesis believes that arousal can only improve a participant performance to a certain level. When arousal goes beyond that level, it can have a negative effect on the performance. Catastrophe theory. Participants perform better when the anxiety levels are high. Goal setting will give Susan the initiative to exercise. Those targets should be set following the SMART method: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. As well as the above, setting goals would benefit Susan's motivational skills. Observing herself losing weight could have a positive impact on her behavior in the future. Attending relaxation classes, i.e. yoga, could help Susan unwind physically and mentally while being in a group environment. She should also consider a diet plan to help speed up and support her journey. Examples of SMART targets that can be set for Susan's would be to attend a yoga class 2 times a week, specific targets set for Susan that is achievable and realistic, as well as being measurable to wherever she attends a class twice a week. Another SMART target could be keeping a food diary and eat her 5 a day fruit and vegetable and drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. This could be monitored and reviewed weekly to help Susan track her progress. Self-talk is beneficial to people whose dominant thoughts are negative thoughts. Replacing negative cognitive could help with concentration, self-confidence and motivation. Negative thoughts, memories or past experiences can determine one's motivation and thought perception on the goals they want to achieve. Being able to believe in herself will help Susan achieve her desired outcomes. Self-talk would help Susan to break her bad habits. Susan could use both internal and external forms of self-talk, where internal will be thinking positive thoughts, i.e., I can do this, and externally saying it out loud, i.e., come on. Here is our reference list. Thank you for watching our presentation.